This is the House of Horrors in Florida in 360. Now be sure to grab your screen so we can move around as I walk through the House of Horrors in Florida for you. So let's take a look at everything. Right now we're walking in front and there's some electrical panels, several actually, from service, main panel, disconnect, all the way down to distribution panels, sub-panels, and devices. And it's all built in Pro Labs headquarters and warehouse. And there's Inspector Brotherhood. And if you walk to the garage, amazingly, we have a swimming pool. So what's the House of Horrors all about? The House of Horrors is a house built under our roof at Pro Lab campus with 1,000 defects, and more defects than you'll see in a lifetime being a home inspector. And there's our classroom with all the chairs, so we can have events and training sessions there. And the House of Horrors is a chance to do hands-on training to advance your skills, your knowledge, your abilities, to inspect a house, find defects, write reports, and without worrying about making mistakes. Upstairs, there's our exterior systems, and to the right is the roof systems, and to the right there's some tile work. There's a lot of tile in Florida, and there's some more tiles on a ridge, and we have dimensional shingles, concrete, 3-tab shingles, barrel tile, even some wood shingles and slate. There's roll roofing, underlayment, metal roofing. And what we do is we hide defects and ask inspectors to challenge themselves and find those defects. And then we talk about how to write those defects up properly in an inspection report. And here's the cool thing about this video is you can look around and check out even down to the detail of fastening roof components. There's some really beautiful copper flashing in the valley there. So behind you, if you turn around, we can take a look at components like kick-out flashing, where the arrow is pointing at the wood siding and shingles. And at these siding installations, we have the right side correctly installed and the left side incorrectly installed, so that you can challenge yourself and test yourself and advance your skills. Do you know how to properly install siding? Well, if you don't, maybe you won't be able to recognize mistakes, installation mistakes. There's some eaves with the mesh and the back wrapping and the layers, but remember the left side is not installed properly, as you can tell around the dryer vent. And there's the drainage system around the window. What's a window with eaves look like? What's it supposed to look like? So we zoom in, and using 3D technology I can just show you around what you're missing if you can't come to the Florida House of Horrors. We have one in Colorado. There's missing kick out there with the stucco eaves and the asphalt shingles. We've got a House of Horrors, house with 1,000 defects built under our roof at InterNACHI headquarters. There's some more stucco. That's definitely a missing kick out. That's a great shot. That's really close. And you can come by the InterNACHI House of Horrors anytime. Check out our school website where the House of Horrors classrooms are scheduled. Now here at the laminated shingle roof, we have flashing, obviously at the gutter edge. The right side is correct, the left side is incorrect. You can see on the right side, the correct side, the underlayment goes over the flashing at the drip edge. That's proper, not the other way around on the left side. Some step flashing defects. Here's some fastening issues. A lot of cracks in the tile. Some are cracked and not repaired. Some are repaired improperly and properly. And what's the difference between the two? We like to make the roof leak. And there's a chimney or a skylight right there, and the different types of flashing, counter flashing, step flashing, head, base, apron, all that good stuff. And how is vinyl siding installed and fastened, right? So we open up the siding and let you see how components and systems are attached and fastened. And remember, this installation has the correct side is on the right and incorrect is on the left. And we have all kinds of materials. There's stone applied and brick. Those mortar joints do not look quite right. And so you can spend many days here training yourself. Swimming pool. In Florida, and a lot of parts of the country, a lot of swimming pools. And what we want to do is open this thing up, crack it open, and layer it so that you can see all the systems and components of how a pool is supposed to be installed properly, down to the lighting devices. For example, we slide in and the weir is there. Sometimes you see cracked tiles. So home inspectors, some of them are trained by InterNACHI to inspect pools. We have a checklist. We have an online training course, certification. Pools, a lot of problems about bonding and grounding the system so that the pool is safe, right? And home inspectors often see problems with the brick and the walkways around the pool. And so we crack things open, we slice them open, and here's some sand and some grout and how the layers are supposed to look, how things are properly installed and not properly installed. We layer the concrete and the parging and the tile work so you can see how things are installed. There's the grounding. The whole system has to be safe, right? We show you how it's done properly. So that is a great installation of the swimming pool at the House of Horrors in Florida. Back to the electrical panels. There are 7 systems here, all the way down to the from service down to through the electrical panels down to the device or receptacle. We take a look at the neutrals and the grounding and how is the sub panel supposed to look and properly installed or improperly installed. What are the things like red taping? Is that proper? There's an AFCI and a GFCI. So in this 360 video, you can just spin around and take a look at everything. And at the House of Horrors, you can take your time and you can use pictures that you take at the House of Horrors, use them in your inspection report. Let's go into Crawlspace. Not many Crawlspaces in Florida, but a lot of surrounding areas have Crawlspaces. But it's a good opportunity to look at load-bearing components, structural systems. We have solid wood flooring, engineered flooring, and how they're fastened. A lot of plumbing in the Crawlspace. We've got all kinds of supply pipes and drain pipes. We're going to look at slope, connections, proper and improper. There's ABS connected to PVC. How do you properly do that? I see some kind of gas supply with PVC connected to cast iron. There's copper pipes, hangers, straps, ductwork. So at the House of Horrors, we go through just about every system and component that you could come across during a home inspection. That's not good, the open vent in the Crawlspace. And it's all about advancing your knowledge and skills and abilities as a home inspector. And if you're new, you can perform home inspections over and over again and not worry about making mistakes and writing reports. And if you're a veteran, this is a chance to bring your company and advance everyone in the company, their skills, so that they can be their best at home inspections, right? You don't have to worry about making mistakes, and you can challenge yourself. We got lots of games and challenges about how fast you can find all the defects in the house. There's the air conditioner system underneath the steps, underneath the landing. And this is strapping for, if you turn around at the walls, the wind mitigation walls. Down in Florida, their roofs fly off if they're not strapped down properly to the foundation. So that we've got a concrete masonry unit there, and we want those trusses to be properly strapped, and there's several different ways to properly do it and improperly do it. And then there's siding materials as well, and the windows need to be proper for high winds and impact ratings. And that's James. He's setting up the audio and video systems for a new class. So if you're an instructor or a school and you want to come by and set up a classroom here, this is a fantastic opportunity for a school or an instructor to come use the facilities. It's a huge, big building, a lot of room. We could fit 120 people in seats, probably 50 with desks, and you can use the House of Horrors. This is the electrical room. Love this room. All right, this is the HVAC and plumbing area, and we go through a lot of systems here. Take a look around in 360, spin around, and a lot of plumbing pipes for pools. So we go through all the fittings, the basic components. You know, the bonding, right? That's really important. 2 hot water tanks. We have an electric hot water tank with all the systems and components there. There's a defect, jumps out at you. And the gas hot water tank. Oh, there's a defect at the vent pipe. And for those who are familiar with wells, we have a pump and a tank and a cartridge for water, a furnace, and an air conditioning unit. And we break open the air conditioning system so you can see all the tubes and the valves and the coil and the wiring and the sensors and the timers and the fan. So the whole idea of the House of Horrors is for you to see things that you wouldn't normally see during a typical home inspection. We want you to know what's behind things and how things are built, properly or improperly. Here's the kitchen and the bathroom. Spin around. Got a basic kitchen with some dishwasher, cabinets, sink, garbage disposal, stove, and there's the bathroom. You can practice your checklist on how to inspect the bathroom properly. And here's an example of ripping open a system and exposing the layers of how something is built. So the shower floor is really important. This is a tiled floor, so you want to know what a defect is and how it's installed improperly or properly. And there's the drain there. This floor is all messed up. It's not level. And then we rip open and expose how hot and cold the fixtures work. There's the shower head. And again, correct and incorrect walls. So the correct side is there and the incorrect side is there. Soap dish is no good. And the grout lines are a concern. So that's the bathroom and the kitchen. Living room has receptacles. I'm going to fill that up with systems and components as we go. And in the electrical room, behind you, if you turn, we have some old electric panels like Federal Pacific, Zinsco, fuses. So you can see real electrical panels that have been pulled out of a house that have defects. And this wall here takes you through from telephone pole and mast down to the meter and all the components that you would come across during an inspection. Main distribution panel, shut-off switches, devices, receptacles, outlets, timers, fuse disconnects, sub-panel, and dryer or stove outlets, 3-prong, 2-prong, 4-prong, and wall receptacles, switches, Some of them are properly installed, some are incorrectly installed. So you can take a look and test yourself on that, find the defects, and then correctly identify the systems and components. That is the InterNACHI House of Horrors in Florida with 360. My name is Ben Gromicko from InterNACHI. Talk to you later.